Oh, the joys of unemployment, guys, gals, everyone. You wouldn't believe how joyful it can be. I would just go ahead and say, if you've ever thought about becoming unemployed, woo, just do it. You know, I've heard this good piece of news lately. Look at this grass. This is some good news, people. Animals, plants, all these things. This is some good news. We're just going to take a minute to walk this road, you know, and I'll tell you the good news. So, you know, life is a journey. You never know what's going to happen. It's non-linear, usually. I mean, it's very rare for it to go how you think it's going to go. It's very rare for things to go as you expect them to go. It's rare for things to go as planned, which is why you have plan B's, plan C, plan D, and then an emergency exit strategy. You know, you've got to have a bunch of different plans because odds are your first plan is not going to work out. What you want is probably not going to happen. So that's the old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like that's what it is. Now, why things don't work out and how things don't work out, I mean, that's part of the mystery of the universe. But back to the good news. The good news that I've discovered here recently, and it has not been on any of the mainstream media conglomerate news channels, but I've come across this good news this spring, 2024. And it's been about the most timely and best news I could hear right now because I feel like it's actually true. And the news here is, people, that we are all, everything is all the universe, just experiencing itself in various ways at any given time, all the time. So, to break that down a little bit, everything is everything else. And everything is the universe. And I think this goes back to religion, myth, spirituality, feeling connected, you know, just like the oneness of everything is so much deeper than even just like a human to human connection. It is human to rock, human to water, water to fire. Like everything is the universe. You know, even if you're a Big Bang theorist or a creationism, you know, Jesus put this here, you know, or whatever, like the lotus blooming of the universe put us here. It's like, well, no matter how you explain it or define it, it's all the same stuff. And, you know, that kind of gets back to like this one thing that I heard back in the day. It's like, you know, paths are many, truth is one. And I think that's a really good way of putting it, because I think that is the reality that we have to get down with. It's like this stuff, this life, this existence, through all of the trials and tribulations, through the ups and the downs, through the pain and the sorrow, through the joys and the pleasures, like it is all just the universe experiencing itself in every different way it can, and it will find ways to do it. It'll find new ways to do it. I mean, it's an amazing thing. So, I mean, it's hard to really explain because it's simple. You know, it's actually more simple than you could maybe think it is. It's It's not even a big deal. But I mean, the simple fact is, like, I am you. I am me. I am everything. You are you. You are me. You are everything. And it's just like, yeah, people get this very centric, individual centric kind of thing going on sometimes, especially in our Western society. It's like, it's all about me. It's all about me, my kids, my things. And it's like, everything is impermanent, everything is transient. Everything comes and goes. There is a flow. There is a cycle. And the universe's cycle recycles all the stuff. Like, and I think that's one of the only laws of matter that are, like, we know of, besides the law of gravity. It's like, these are the fundamentals of our physics. And it's the law of matter or whatever, or one of the laws of matter is that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It just changes form. And I think that's a really good, it's a good thing, because that's, I think, pretty true. In that, it's all the same thing, experiencing it itself all the time, over and over again in different ways, until, I mean, I don't know if there's a beginning or an end, and a beginning and an end is probably a human construction. And like, it's all really, out there kind of, but it's also really fucking simple. Really simple stuff. And I think I've been getting into these existential, like, kind of thought patterns of, like, I've got to just let go. I've got to just surrender to life and go with the flow. I've got to just open up myself to the experience, and, whatever the experience has for me, just go. It's okay. Like, fully embrace whatever it is. And like, whatever I feel like my purpose is at a given time, like, it's fine to do whatever you feel like. And like, I've just been having, like, a complex, kind of situation with, life, I guess, is the proper explanation. Like, it's been a complex time period, a new chapter, new chapters, and it's like, you don't expect these new chapters to happen the way they happen, but they just do. And it's, I think that's one of those, it's just the universe filling in, going down the path of least resistance, going with the flow. And it's like, you don't necessarily always know where the flow is going to go. And it's not ever going to go where you think it's going to go. It's always going to go the different path that you don't think it's going to go. And so we're out here vlogging on the universe and what it fucking wants, which is fine. Vlogging this road walk, these trees, and this grass, and these spring flowers, ant hills, whatever have you, cans, whatever. New construction happening, just all sorts of shit happening, and it's all happening right now, man. And I think this all goes into, like, just like, this is what people are talking about when they're talking about, like, like, this is the kind of stuff you crack into when you're getting somewhere, and you're making some ground in your own journey. It's like, oh, it's just like realizations, even if they're small. The little things, the small realizations, like accepting things, letting things go, letting things come, not being attached to outcomes, because you can't be certain of any outcome, except that things are going to change no matter what happens. That's about the only outcome you can be certain of. And I hope this message is inspiring to someone, and that it fills you with hope and joy and contentment. And I would say, like, the hope part is, like, hope that whatever struggles you may be going through, like, they are temporary struggles. Even how serious they may seem, like, no matter what happens, it's going to be okay. As long as you're alive, you're gonna figure it out. You're going to make it. And the thing is, you're not always going to be alive. It's not always going to be a thing. So just, try to make the best of what you got. There are so many simple things out here to enjoy, like nature. like walking. Like, that's the thing. It's like, and I think we get so hung up in the materialism of our culture and the social normative values that are constantly placed on us, and like getting lost in, you know, expectation and desire, and you lack fulfillment because you can't meet the need to always have more and more and more. And it becomes like a vicious cycle of like, oh, well, I have to have this, I have to have, you know, something, you know, I have to have this or that at this time. And if I don't, then I'm not, oh, no one will like me. And it's like, yeah, who cares? It's like, I think the mind can just start racing so easily, and you can spiral into painful modes so easily. Because, you know, I can only say from my own experience that I've been there. I've gone through spirals. Like, this is me coming out of a spiral, you know. I've been going through some intense changes all the way around: relationships, career paths, like living situations, various things that are challenges to my world and my life. And it's been difficult. But I think through it all, I found that, you know what, no matter what happens, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not a permanent fixture to this earth. Like, I am just a piece of it, basically a sensory organ passing through, trying to make an experience that will be a temporary thing. So it's like, well, why waste my time doing anything that I don't want to do, or being hurt by things? I mean, I also, you know, just me personally, I do believe in, like, sometimes you got to get through some hurt and some pain to get to like a better place. So, you know, there are some things, like I've heard some things that's like, well, you know, if that marriage, if you don't still love the person, why waste the time? Like, you know, just find love again with someone else. And I can't remember who was saying that, but he's a big famous musician type producer guy. And I'm sure some of y'all out there will know who this is. But like, when I heard that, I was like, you know what? I mean, that's so, you know, that speaks to the consumerism of our society. And it's like, that's his value that he's projecting as his truth. It's like, shit, in my values and my truths, like, hey, you know, you choose someone to be with, like, in a marriage, like, you choose someone to be with, and like, you just go through that, you know, with them. And like, I mean, sans cheating and beating, like, you make it work out, you know? Now, if you've been beaten badly in a relationship, and it's like a regular fucking thing, and, you know, you also got, you know, cheating going on, and, you know, mistreatment, ill treatment, yeah, okay, you know, that's a different fucking story. But I would say if both partners are being good to each other, then you just make it work. So, I mean, that's just value differences, and that's an individual's right to come to their own conclusions on the value systems of our world and our lives and our choices. So it's like, you choose to be with someone, you choose to be in a relationship, you just keep trying with that person and you make it work out, especially if there's kids involved. And like, once again, you know, I haven't always done that. I haven't always put in effort. And sometimes when things get really hard, yeah, it's just easier to let shit go instead of like being mistreated or treated how you don't want to be treated, like less than you deserve. But it's very complex, because if you really care about the person, you hope that they'll come around, but it's like sometimes they won't. So it's like, yeah, just let it go. It's okay. It's okay to take the L on any fucking thing. Like, I'd say you take the L on so much in life, and it's just, you know, contributes to the experience, I guess. It's sometimes very painful and very confusing and very upsetting, and throws you off balance, throws you off center. But if anything, I think getting thrown off center just makes you stronger and makes you find that center that you can like just go back to. It's like, hey, I know exactly, like, it's like one of those punching bag doll things. It's like, no matter what, it always returns to center. So you can hit me as many times as you want to. No matter what, I'm going to return to the center, because it's like, that's life. And I've been hit. I know how it is being a punching bag for this existence. But like, finding that center, that true self, that genuine self, is that thing that is the universe, that is you, that is everyone. And it's like, I think anyone who's treating you badly or doesn't know if they can do this anymore or whatever, that's just their own journey that they have to go through. And you know what? Like, life is fucking hard. That's all there is to it. But you find cool shit like this when you go out and adventure. So y'all take care. Have a great day. Good luck. Best wishes. I love you.